Next is from Fall Vampire. The subject is Crazy Ryback. Speaking of crazy, Billy Body is now claiming that CM Punk has filed a lawsuit against him for stuff he said about him on Twitter. Obviously, more lies made up by Billy Body. The guy's struggling so badly without you that he's pulling stuff like this for attention in the hope that you guys will have him back on to talk about it. He's pathetic, and I love to see it. Never liked him. Quick sidebar, Fall Vampire. Punk is suing Billy Body, and I've seen the letter.
Now, is he suing him, or was it a warning like "I will sue you"?
I could go back and read it. I think there's no. Yeah, it was a cease and desist letter. So
yeah.
Speaking of nut jobs,
it's not going to get, just real quick, it's not going to get the coverage that Billy. I'd assume Billy's like, oh, attention coverage. No one's going to report on it except his boys, like the Torch, the Observer, Pete Insider. No one's going to cover.
Yeah, that's fascinating because it's obviously newsworthy. Okay, yeah. CM Punk is suing a dirt sheet guy, but it doesn't make any sense because I don't know. Speaking of nut jobs, I've got to ask you guys about Ryback. Recently, he's been publicly campaigning everywhere he can for Tony Khan to book a Ryback versus Goldberg match in AEW. I don't know what year Ryback thinks this is, but it sounds like a complete car crash waiting to happen. Remember, Ryback is the guy who said he refused to have a match with the Ultimate Warrior for WrestleMania 30, an obvious lie. My question basically is, how likely do you think that Ryback versus Goldberg is to happen in AEW, and if Tony Khan were to sign him, how do you think CM Punk would react? I don't. Honestly, I think Ryback versus Goldberg is an absolutely very compelling match that would generate interest. Are you in? Would you be interested in seeing that, Conan?
Yep.
Yeah. That's 100% interest. Two big guys. Like how often can we book a match with two big guys that come across as like A-list stars? Not often. Well,
yeah.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. Why did he ask how would CM Punk react? What does that have to do with anything?
Oh, Ryback.
Because Ryback.
Yeah.
Well, you've got to put all that to the side and just do business. It has nothing to do with you. He's not wrestling you.
Ryback comes across to me as absolutely the guy that would squash all previous beefs and do business with anybody. That's what he comes across to me as. He's very intelligent.
Plus, how does it help anything?
Right. Exactly. Next is from the review.
Put that to the side. You don't got to go out with the guy. You don't got to go sing karaoke. You don't even got to be in catering together. Just do business.
This is Mark. This is Mark from Austin, Texas. He's from the Review podcast. The subject is MJF's edge. Hello. My question is for the whole crew. Do you think MJF will lose his edge if he signs with WWE? He won't be able to swear constantly. He won't be able to refer to other companies, which these days constitutes 90% of his promo material. Add to that his height or lack thereof, and it can add up to a slow start in the WWE. I know he's talented and will adapt, but there's nothing he's shown at this point indicates he'd maintain his buzz with the smart fans if he does. Completely disagree. You can obviously see that MJF's acting skills are top notch, which is what you need on WWE, is good actors for backstage vignettes, for promos, which is what he nails every single time. So he's tailor-made for that company. He
has something that most wrestlers don't have. He has swag and he has charisma oozing.
Right.
And he looks like a star. He acts like a star. He dresses like a star. And he can go. He hasn't had any bad, he's had some high profile matches and he had good matches.
Yeah.
Is there a performer in AEW that shows more confidence in front of the camera than he does?
Well, Jericho, but that's a big difference in time.
Not more. Not more. Absolutely not more.
Dallas.
Bro, no way. MJF was like everything he does, he feels like he's doing the right thing. Every facial expression he makes, he just seems supremely comfortable and confident out there. Next is from Dean Buckley, subject is Mailbag. Hi guys. Dean from oh my god, is this near where does Hughie live?
Belfast.
Look how far Belfast is from Cork City, Ireland. Okay, because this says Cork City, Ireland sounds like a place where it's just like a bunch of drunks that are drinking, corks. Like everybody. Yeah, that's what.
They're literally they're complete opposite sides of Ireland. It's 5 hours difference. 5 hours.
All right, away. So Dean from Cork City, Ireland. Do you guys think a Mark boxing event would be fun? Billy versus KG, Joe versus some other Mark podcaster. All the parody accounts could have a Royal Rumble with Russo versus Cornette. 2 out of 3 falls in the main event. You have a kazoo for this, Conan?
Yeah.
Next is from Supper Egg Amen.
Super Reggae Man.
Super Reggae Man. Okay. So I was there, Super Reggae Man, right? So the subject is Sunday 420 thoughts. So the guy's high. Gentlemen, this is interesting too. He actually, Joe, look at the timestamp on the email.
At 420.
Yeah,
Precisely.
he sent this at 420 precisely. Gentlemen, what a guan. What does GWAN mean, guan?
What a guan is, it just means what's going on in Jamaican English.
Super Reggae Man here. My question this week is about AEW Collision. They came right out of the gate, guns a-blazing with a great first show. There was a noticeable difference in the talent in terms of size. With guys like Hobbs, Luchasaurus, Wardlow, Miro, thrown in Caveman Camarado, and even the cleverly named Big Bill. Could Collision be the show where the big boys play? If so, it'd be a hell of a deal, and I'd be all in. That's from SRM, Super Reggae Man.
Mm-hmm.
I did notice that there are a lot of bigger guys on that show. Maybe that would be the big boy show. Maybe that's why they call it Collision.
Yeah,
you put the big boys out there. They're doing, running into each other stuff. I did not. Well, Super Reggae Man, I didn't think that, the ratings dropped 27% from the first show to the second show. So I did not share the enthusiasm that most people did for the first show based on the reasons that we gave, which is that nothing really happened other than the stuff that happens in all their other shows.
It'd be a good way to differentiate the shows for sure.
Yeah, it would. What do you think about that, Conan? Make it the big boy show?
Could be. I mean, at the end of the day, they have to be entertaining and being good storylines, no matter what size they are. So,
isn't that pretty funny
to me?
If you think about it, all these big guys he just has sitting on the bench for so long.
Yeah, I mean, and no explanation either.
But that's the way the business is. For a long time, all the little guys were sitting on the sideline. Better yet, they weren't even allowed into the business.
Yeah.
Let me ask you guys this, because for Dynamite, I'd say if it's over 800 or 850,000, it's a good rating, right? That's like the benchmark, right? 800 or 850. So what do you think going forward now that Collision's dropped down to 595? What do you think is going to be the benchmark for Collision? Like, if it's over 600, it's good. If it's over 500?
Oh, no.
Mm-hmm.
They said that Dave Meltzer said the Collision has to do well. I don't know what well is, though. So he talked about the first rating was fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what he thinks about the second rating. So
I'm going to send him an email and ask him what does TBS or TNT, which is one that plays them?
On the TNT's
TNT.
What do they consider a good rating? Anything over 200, anything over 300, anything, right. And see what it is. That we'll have a better idea, because it might be anything over 300 is good for them, and these guys are getting 800. Who knows?
Mm-hmm. Well, here's one thing I want to know is AEW?
They're not increasing the rating, which is not good. Yeah.
Well, are they getting any money from Warner Brothers Discovery for the show? Because Russo had a good point.
They're not doing it for free.
Well, I don't know. Russo had a point that they made. He said he was looking at some stuff and he heard something that Tony Khan is paying for the show. And that's what I don't know. It's very unclear. Like, we should know these facts. Like, who's paying?
I thought he said TNT executive.
I'm going to ask those questions to Meltzer, see what he tells me.
Go ahead. Go email him now, see what he says. Okay. All right. Next is from Mike Sinaj. The subject is mailbag question. Hi, Disco, Conan, and Joe. I've liked listening to the Rehash show. My two favorite Rehash episodes were the best of Juventud Guerrera and when Kevin Gill got destroyed by guests on your show. That's our best show ever, I think, is when Russo destroyed Gill and told him he was a disgrace to the
Well, it was everybody. It was Russo, it was Lord Cyrus, it was Lance, it was us. I remember Jericho came on here once and destroyed him with his donkey laugh. Yeah, so he was getting it from everywhere.
Even Ryan Satin took shots at him,
Right. My question is, will we be seeing more best of XYZ guests on Rehash? For example, the best of Don Callis on Keeping 100? Is there any possibility in the future that we'll be able to listen to Kevin Gill getting destroyed Volume 2 on Rehash? Sorry for the long question. I love what you guys do. Thanks for answering my question. I hope you have a good day. Joe, this guy wants more Kevin Gill bashing in the Rehash episodes.
Yeah, I'm sure.
What are our numbers like? What are our numbers like on the Kevin Gill bashing on the Rehash shows? Do those do good numbers?
That show was advertised as like confrontations and arguments, but the beginning was KG getting slaughtered by Russo. So it wasn't an all KG episode, but yeah, that one did very well. Yeah.
Has anybody been?
Yeah, I could do.
Who's gotten buried worse on this show than when Russo buried Kevin Gill? That's never really happened before since then, huh?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah. Next is from Matthew Hansen.
Us burying KG. That was even more brutal.
Right.
Yeah.
And the subject is marriage for U.S. visa storyline. Hello, gentlemen and Feeney. Who would you book together in a storyline where a wrestler is about to be deported if they don't get married soon? For example, Nyla Rose marrying Daddy Magic? Thanks, and that's is Daddy Magic Canadian?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, he is? Okay. Who would I book? Well, who's first I would book who's a Mexican wrestler?
Yeah, it could be a Mexican citizen or a Japanese citizen or Canadian or whatever.
I don't know. Okay, they get married. What's the big? After that, what do you do with them?
Yeah, that's
all right.